Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshack here, and we're going to be doing some nerf predictions. I know it's a little early, but there are some outlier decks, there's some outlier cards that we need to talk about, and I'm thinking that they may be hit with some sort of nerf hammer in the next 1 to 2 weeks because these decks are, whether one, they're just really too good, or they're just not a healthy game experience when you play against them. So first one we're going to be taking a look at is going to be Quest Warrior. Right now, Quest Warrior is probably the best deck or one of the best decks you could possibly play right now. And it really all comes down to a couple cards in the deck. One being the fact that there's just a overwhelmingly large quantity of very good pirates right now. They're just statted really well. They're really good, and if you don't kill them, they just kill you. So looking at some of the ones like the Cannoneer, that's really good. The Pufferfish is really good. There's just great quality pirates right now, and it makes it so there's really no bad spots in the deck. And on top of that, there is still Mr. Smite. So you have like all of these super powerful pirates. You have a guy that gives them charge. Mr. Smite can come from the Juggernaut. And now that we also have Nelly in the mix, can give you another Mr. Smite for 1 mana. So there's just a lot of burst damage that this deck can do that you wouldn't normally get. That's either 1, randomly generated, or 2, just comes, it all comes after, I guess, randomly generated, right? You get it off of Nelly, you get it off of the Juggernaut. There's just, or you get it off of the Amalgam, right? And now that there's also the new legendary pirate card from Rogue, that can pull from the Juggernaut, and then you also play Smite, and it's like, we're talking like 15-20 plus damage in a turn that wasn't on the board the turn before that you can't interact with, right? So there's a couple ways that you can like target this deck, whether we've already seen a nerf to Raid the Docks before. They actually increased the number of pirates it takes to complete. So I don't think Raid the Docks is going to be what's hit. It's probably just going to be some of these big pirates, or specifically Smite. You can change this guy to like, you know, Battle Cry, the first pirate you play each turn has charge, or you know what I mean? There's a way to make this card so it just doesn't give all of the pirates charge. And I think that would basically solve the entire issue of charging pirates. Is if this guy only has charge, it's fine. Or if he only gives 1 pirate charge per turn, that's fine. Or if it gives them rush, that's cool too, right? But just the sheer face damage this can do on top of the ultimate value, I think, is a little too much right now. And we saw before in the previous meta when Pirate Warrior was like the #1 deck, it kind of fell off at top 1K, but now it's still good at top 1K. So yeah, Pirate Warrior, little too overtuned. Mr. Smite, Nelly, being like, just the fact that Nelly can generate an extra smite and whatnot is kind of insane. Yo, I appreciate you for watching. If you do like the content, you do like the channel, remember, subscribing, liking, and commenting on the videos really helps the channel out, shows it to more people, and it allows me to keep doing what I do, which is make the content I hope you like to enjoy. And if not, that's okay too. I'll see you in the next. The next thing we're going to target is the Ramp Druid. Right now, Druid is absolutely insane. It's probably it's the best class by far, because there's a lot of ways you can build it, and almost all of them are good, right? And it all comes kind of down to this card, Guff. It's sad because Guff is a super fun card. I like playing this card. 20 mana allows you to do some very good shenanigans, but unfortunately, even with Bloom gone, they made Nourish back to 5. So like, ramping's still not a problem for Druid, specifically because they still have Wild Growth, they still have Nourish, and they still have Guff. So they're still hitting twice the mana that you have, like, just as quickly, right? They also have Aquatic Form and Moonlit, which can still find Guffs. So Weather Guff, I could see this card honestly going to 7 mana. I don't think 6 mana is enough of a nerf for Guff. So this guy going to 7 can put it in contention with like Miracle Growth and a Scale of Onyxia is kind of where I see it. Like, you have the option between the field clear, the draw the cards, or the start the ramp. You know what I'm saying? Also, you can go Nourish into them as well. So that combo is still available, but you have to choose between, not just, you don't just go Guff and then go to your 7 drops. You now have to make the decision of which 7 drop to play, right? And I think that'll slow the deck down a good amount, but it still do everything that it normally does, which is hit 20 mana and do crazy shit, which I think Druid is allowed to do. Like, each deck's allowed to have its fun and do the crazy stuff, right? So yeah, Guff going to 7 mana, definitely see that happening, because right now Druid has just about everything that a deck could have. It's got great healing with Earthen Scales. It's got great ramp. It has fantastic card draw. It has insane board presence. It's got burst damage. And it also has, of course, some renditions run Kaz. I see this one has like Alex Straws in it. I just pulled this off HS Replay under top decks. But yeah, most of the time they run Kaz, not Alex Straza. I don't know what this is about, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, Guff to 7, and I think that would be good. People are also saying like Earthen Scales at 1's a little too crazy because it's a 1 mana, and then you use this on your like 0 mana 8/8 Naga Giant, and you basically heal for like 8 or 9 for 1 mana. So Earthen Scales to 2 could be something, but I don't really see that being hit. I think Guff is the one that's going to go to 7. So that's another nerf prediction there. And then so this priest deck, Switcheroo Priest. For those of you unfamiliar, I posted a video on it. Guaranteed it's going to get nerfed. I'm almost 100% on what it's either going to be Switcheroo or the Twin Fin Twin or something. It's going to be some part of this that gets nerfed, not because this deck is overwhelmingly powerful. It's very high. This is a high roll priest, right? So for those of you unfamiliar, if you haven't seen the video, you basically only run 2 minions in this deck. You run the Twin Fin, and then you run Deathwing. You play this card called Switcheroo. You draw 2 cards, swap their stats, and then this turns into a 3 mana 12/12 Rush Battlecry summon a copy. So you get 2 12/12s with Rush, and then you can get this done on turn 3 or 4. Basically, no other deck can deal with this. You can silence it, but like it's basically game over if you don't draw the silence. And again, this isn't going to be a super consistent deck, but this is for the more of a healthy feeling when you play the game, right? So if you're like a ton of new guys are coming back, if you're here and you're new, welcome. A ton of new people are coming back to Hearthstone. Ton of veterans are coming in. New players are joining. And the first thing, you know, they're playing ladder. They play the games. Most players play 5-15 games a day. That's about it, you know, between there. And in those games, having 2 or 3 of those games being decided by Switcheroo into Twin Fin and just losing them outright, I don't think is fair to that player, right? That's just not a healthy experience when playing the game. Even though if you were to play hundreds of games, that would even out, and you'd probably beat this deck more times than not because they would draw a minion and the combo just wouldn't work and the deck just dies, right? Like this, the whole point of this deck is that only that's it. That's how it wins, right? So, but most players don't have that time to put in hundreds of games to like even out the RNG, right? So if they play their 5 games, 10 games a day, and 2 of them are against this priest deck and they lose both because of this high roll, I highly doubt that person's going to be coming back, right? Like that's just not, they want to do other things with their time, not get high rolled because of Switcheroo into a 12/12 Murloc. Some players may laugh it off, but I don't really want, like, it's just not healthy, right? It's just not a good way to play a game. It's just having this only high roll mechanic for your deck. It's fun. It was fun a couple days, but like just for the health of the game moving forward, any new players and veterans coming back, they shouldn't have to put up with that, right? So I don't know how you switch this. Make it 4 mana, the combo still exists. Make it 5 mana, the combo and the card is dead. I don't think this card needs to be destroyed. It's a fun card. It's just whenever you have a fun card like this with it obviously a very powerful effect, players are going to look to break this card as fast as possible, and it was broken. And even in Wild, where this combo is even worse, they have the Stone Tusk Boar and you use it with the Nightmare, and you actually do 40 damage because you have a 20/20 charge Boar. And instead of them being 12/12s, they're 20/20s, and they go face because they have charge. So it's even better in Wild. So again, I don't know how you change this one, but I'm sure Switcheroo and or Twin Fin will get changed, so you can't do this combo anymore. I'm sure of it. Even though again, the deck doesn't have a super high win rate, it's more of a like just a healthy player playing the game, more of a, you know, fixing the best deck kind of deal. The next one is going to be Mech Mage. I do not think Mecha Shark is going to get hit. I think it's a fantastic card and it's very good and it wins games. But I think the main problem which comes out of Mecha Shark is this Seafloor Getaway. This is the card that makes Mecha Shark really good, right? Because you're able to draw the mech and then reduce it. So if you draw a Mecha Shark and then you have some other 1-drops or 2-drops in your hand, you're going to reduce those and you're going to be able to play like 3 to 5 mechs, maybe even 6 in one turn, right? And the Mech Shark's going to do anywhere between like 10 to 15 damage, and there's nothing your opponent can do about it, right? So if you just make Seafloor Gateway, like, draw a minion if it's a mech, reduce it by a certain amount, it's just, this card is the one that activates Mecha Shark to be able to have those massive swing turns just because of the fact that you're reducing 1 and 2 cost mechs to 0 or an and or 1, and then you on turn 6 go crazy, right? So I don't think Mecha Shark's really the issue. I think it's more of this card that's making Mecha Shark an issue. But if they do end up touching Mecha Shark, you just make it like a 3 mana 3/3, and it does 3. It works well wording wise, right? 3 mana 3/3 does 3. But I think the seafloor, if they do touch it, will be the one that gets hit here for sure. And currently, that's kind of it in regards to things that I see that are an issue at the moment. And if they nerf this stuff and other stuff pops up, then that's different. That's a completely different meta, because right now everything, in my opinion, is being warped around beating Druid. Druid is like the deck to beat along with Pirate Warrior, right? So you take a couple chinks off those decks, and it allows a lot of other decks to breathe and have some room. And then the meta isn't like shifting and polarizing itself to strictly defeat 1 and or 2 decks, which will give us a lot of room, right? So keep it light on the nerfs, target the stuff that's like oppressing the meta, which I think is honestly Druid and Quest Warrior. And then see where it goes. I think Mech Mage maybe a little bit. We'll see, but definitely Guff, definitely Switcheroo, and definitely Pirate Warrior getting, in my opinion, will get hit. Again, I'm just guessing. This is predictions video, right? But those are my reasons. Played a lot of games, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the stuff comes out and your boy's right. It's gonna be pretty hype, right? So with that, what do you guys think? What are you guys playing against that seems a bit OP? Remember, think a large scale meta changing, what the meta is warping to, and in my opinion, it's definitely Druid and Warrior. Definitely Druid and Warrior. So with that, thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm Warshack.